Hi, I'm Carrie Patrick, your host for Eye on St. Lucie. School readiness. When is the right time to begin thinking about whether our children are prepared? Today's guests will shed some light on this matter. Tony Loop, the Executive Director for Early Learning Coalition of St. Lucie County, and Debbie Hawley, the Chief Program Officer for Big Brothers Big Sisters of St. Lucie, Indian River, and Okeechobee counties, join me to discuss services in place to meet the needs of St. Lucie County's young children by successfully providing quality early learning and school readiness experiences for children birth to 5. And we have some very special news about the Early Learning Coalition's 12th annual Family Fun Fair that will take place on April the 7th. So don't change that channel. Just sit back, relax, and let's find out more about school readiness. Well, we're so excited to have you both with us today, Tony and Debbie, because our community is just so much better for the fact that you two are leading organizations that really care about our kids. And before we get started, we're just going to take a few moments and let you both tell us about the roles that you play in your respective organizations. Tony, why don't you start?
Okay. Thank you. I'm Tony Loop, the CEO of the Early Learning Coalition of St. Lucie County. We administer School Readiness Program, which is a subsidized program for families that are working or going to school and can't afford childcare, along with administering the VPK program, which is a free program for all 4-year-olds that the school district participates in as well. But not only that, as CEO, it's really about being involved in the community and developing partnerships and relationships with other organizations and the private sector. So we're very fortunate that I'm involved with and a member of the Executive Roundtable, which is made up of leaders across our county. So the sheriff, both chiefs of police, commissioners, city and county, and the leaders of our community. And we focus on children's issues from birth all the way through 22. So that, I'm very proud to be a part of that. Along with, I serve on the Healthy Start, or actually just came off of the Healthy Start board, but that's another entity that I've been involved with for over 5 years. So it's really about developing those relationships with Big Brothers, Big Sisters, the school district. We have grants that we've partnered with together, and my organization can't do everything. So when we have those partnerships and relationships, it's really about assisting each other and a transition of care for children as well.
And it's been a pleasure to work with you over the years because there's so much energy involved in that collaboration and working together, and that's why it's so important to have one of the partners here with us today as we discuss some of the exciting things going on and the special events that are on the horizon. So Deb, let's hear about your role with your organization.
I am the Chief Program Officer for Big Brothers Big Sisters. We are a tri-county organization, but our main focus for today's purposes especially is on our St. Lucie County partnerships. But through Big Brothers Big Sisters, we have 3 different programs that we utilize to serve our community. The first program, which most people think of, is our community-based, where we match folks one-on-one, an adult and a child, and that match then does things in the community. We expose them to events and just different things that they might not be exposed to otherwise. And our second program is called Site-Based, and that is where we have mentors that are highly trained. We train in conjunction with the school district, and which you are one, Carrie, and thank you for that very much. Yes, where they go into the school one time a week and spend an hour a week with their little at the school site, with the primary focus being on literacy, because that is a huge concern with our younger ones, that we have them reading on grade level by 3rd grade. And then our third program is called Big Brothers Big Sisters Reads, formerly known as AmeriCorps. where we actually have stipend members that go and spend 3 times a week with a child, and mentoring them as well with their literacy. A lot of social emotional training goes into that too, because the main thing that sets Big Brothers Big Sisters apart from all others is the one-to-one mentoring, and that really means building a relationship with the child. Asking them how they are. They get involved in what's happening in their life and become that caring adult, which of course ties into the Kids at Hope premise that as a school district we embrace and push as well. So we have a lot of opportunities. We serve about 1,800 children in our different programs, and volunteers, we have pretty close to 500 volunteers serving in the program. So
it's an awful lot to keep track of.
It is.
With that being said, there are great needs within our community, and so while you're keeping track of a lot, there's so much more potential and so many more needs, which means we need to extend our services.
Exactly.
And
Definitely.
that keeps both of you so busy. Now, you really chipped away at the ice just a wee bit, because I see you everywhere. You're in our events. You are instrumental in being there to represent your organizations. You sit on more boards than you mentioned. Ms. Holly, you're a member of our school board. Tony, you're so involved in the other reading programs, as are you, within our county. And that's so very important for the work that you do, to be involved and to be networking with all of these organizations. So because it is so important, I'm going to ask that you just, kind of put on your bragging hat a moment and tell us a few more organizations and boards that you work with, because as we get into this, it's important that people know how connected you are and how much of that center cog you are for the entire wheel to spin appropriately in order to serve our children and families.
Yeah. Well, St. Lucie Reads is another.
Yes.
I'm sure that's where you were going with that. Yes. And that's Debbie and I, and or Big Brothers Big Sisters, my organization, and several others. It was really an effort spearheaded by Children's Services Council, Sean Boyle and Ashley Mock, to bring the community together, because it's a national movement, but it's really just to help organize what's going on in our community, because we're all doing a bunch of different things, but why not bring us all together so we can share that and we really understand what each other is doing. So of course our main focus is birth to 5. So that's where our concern is. We contract with over 150 child care providers for services. So we really have access to a majority of the children, within our community, age birth to 5, but then also a lot of those providers have the school agers as well for after school and summer programs. So, so we've really focused and brought things together, and we've actually been able to, as I think I mentioned earlier about a transition with the children, which leads into actually a joint grant that we have with the school district and Big Brothers Big Sisters, with working with the children to be at grade level reading. And we're starting in VPK. We have Learning Tree Academy, a private child care provider that had volunteered and is in the Garden City area, and very close, only I think maybe 2 blocks from a block to 2 blocks from CA Moore, which is the elementary school that we're focusing on as well with that grant. We have mentors from Big Brothers Big Sisters that are working with the VPK programs within both CA Moore and Learning Tree Academy. But so our focus is more on Learning Tree, whereas Big Brothers Big Sisters is focusing in with CA Moore and then the school district, as well. So that we're very proud of.
Yeah.
And
It's really an exciting partnership too, because through it we are able to serve every single VPK student at CA Moore and at Learning Tree through our Big Brothers Big Sisters Reads partnership. So those children are getting touches each and every day from the members and the members stay there during the course of the day. So they're building those relationships and having lunch with the kids and just really creating a relationship. And the really neat thing about it is that we're hoping to build that bridge from Learning Tree to CA Moore so that students that are VPK at Learning Tree will transition over to CA Moore for their kindergarten through 5 experience, as well as keep the students that are already at CA Moore there. So we're doing a lot with family engagement. We're having events, literacy events, where we're giving books to the families, nice hardbound books so that they begin their libraries at home. Right. We're having little field trips where the VPKers from Learning Tree walk over to CA Moore. They went over a couple of weeks ago, got to eat in the cafeteria with the big kids, and it was just really exciting for that. And parents are invited to join in that. The principal at CA Moore has made several visits to Learning Tree, and all of it is through this partnership and working together. Early Learning Coalition provides a lot of the training for that specific VPK age group, which has been very, very helpful for us. But Big Brothers Big Sisters is really focused on that VPK through grade 5 to really help them at that point in their lives. So.
And what you're sharing is the united efforts just makes all of us so much stronger in the education of our children. So not just a K through 12 program, it's a birth through adult whenever we really start putting everything together.
Right.
Yeah. You talked about a young child seeing that growth into a school system, whereas we're taking maybe our high schoolers and giving them experiences on a college campus. So we just continue working together to give children of all ages positive experiences. But Tony, it wasn't always that way. In the early stages, as the Early Learning Coalition was getting started, we had to work to bring everyone together. So how did the Early Learning Coalition's roots get started here in St. Lucie County?
Well, so the coalition, there's actually 30 coalitions now that cover the entire state. Some of them are multi-county coalitions and others are single county. So we're a single county, we cover just St. Lucie. But it was actually originated in legislation back in 1999, and we were formed as the School Readiness Coalition back then. And we only had the one program focusing on subsidized childcare. But back in 2003, legislation was passed to bring in the VPK program, and actually it had to go to referendum and a ballot, and the voters in Florida voted to have a free program for 4-year-olds. So that program then actually started in the 05-06 year, I believe it was.
And I'm going to pause right there for a moment, because what you just stated may not be something that everybody is keenly aware of. Voluntary pre-kindergarten is
so used to using acronyms.
It's a free program. VPK, voluntary pre-kindergarten, is a free program.
Correct.
That you support and St. Lucie Public Schools supports for children who are age 4.
Correct.
Before they enter kindergarten.
Right.
And there's a specific purpose for that.
Yes.
So you want to hit that one?
Definitely, thank you. So yes, the child has to be 4 on or before September 1st, just as with kindergarten they have to be 5 on or before September 1st. So it follows that calendar, but it's the year prior to school entry, kindergarten entry, and it's really to get the child ready to enter kindergarten. So there's curriculum that the providers use, and it's really based on getting the child ready a year sooner. So we're giving them a little leg up. And there's a school year program, or there's also summer programs out there that best fit the need of the child and the need of the parents as well. So and another kind of best kept secret that we've really been trying to push for the last several years and get information out about is for those children that may have some challenges and a traditional classroom setting or VPK setting is not really right for them, and maybe they're in need of certain therapies, they can reach out to us because they are entitled to the monies that we would pay to the child care provider for VPK to actually use those towards certain therapies that their child may be receiving. So that's a huge piece there. We want to make sure that every child is as prepared or that they're getting what they need to be successful.
Okay, so we have resources for families, children, everything is right there, and you guys work with all the agencies in the counties to make sure that our families, our children are ready, all
Correct.
about school readiness.
Yes, definitely.
So that just, I'm going to leap right into this great, big, wonderful event that's coming up, the 12th Annual Family Fun Fair.
Yes.
And the purpose of this is to bring children and families together to highlight all of these resources
Yes.
that are available. And some of them, like you said, best kept secrets that shouldn't be secrets. We want to
Right.
unveil and shout out to the world because they are here for our families to utilize,
Yep.
and it's for the benefit of our children.
Yes, definitely.
So it's April the 7th,
Correct.
Lawnwood Stadium from
Yep.
11 to 2.
Yes.
All right, so I'm good with that. I'm going to say that about 4 more times before
Okay.
this show's over because we want everybody to come out.
Yeah.
So what's going on that day?
Well, so what we've done is we've really transformed this event over the years into a true literacy focused event, and it's tied into Children's Week across the state. So there's actually Children Week celebrations anywhere from January through April statewide. We've traditionally chosen the first Saturday of April as our date locally, and the event really, as you mentioned, focuses on that family engagement and interaction. And children don't have to be birth to 5 to attend. We love for all age groups to come out. There's plenty of things to do. We have over 40 booths we've had in previous years. I don't know quite where we stack up right now in the lineup, but I'm sure we're very close to that. And we pretty much bring and invite all of the nonprofits out to make sure that they have the exposure so that they can get the word out about their programs to the families. Because it's not, early learning is a piece of it, but really what is out there for families and children, we want them to be exposed to and understand that there are some things out there that maybe they didn't know, was there. The other piece or the other component is we invite our child care providers to come and set up a booth, and they focus on one book and they decorate their booth according to that book, and they will read the book to the children as they come through, and that's really exciting as well. And then not only that, but when they leave, every child will get an age-appropriate book to take home with them. So there's all that great stuff. We usually have a scavenger hunt. We have the fire department come out. We have either the sheriff or police will do a canine demonstration. We have all different kinds of entertainment and activity. We've had a exotic petting opportunity where different sanctuaries have come out and had we'll call them baby alligators because they're under 3 feet. So
Still pretty big.
So when they're
but
still
the mouth
cute,
is
right?
taped.
Is
Yeah,
that what
they're
you're
cute.
telling me?
So, yeah,
Okay.
so, and we've had an albino raccoon before. We've had miniature owls, and it's really a lot of great things that children and maybe even some adults haven't even been exposed to. So I get excited, and I'm a kid at heart, so I love to participate in all that stuff that we have.
One of the things we've talked about, Carrie, is the partnerships. And really, what we all know that serve our community is the ultimate partnership is the one we form with the families of the children that we serve.
Yes.
And these opportunities, such as the April 7th event, any opportunities that we have for them to come into schools or our child care provider sites, that's really our ultimate goal, is to build that relationship with the family, to build the trust level, and to show them all the things that are open and available and oftentimes free for them to partake in. So we know we've become an accomplished community when parents do come to these events, and the trust level has been established, and they know they can reach out, whether it be to ELC, whether it be to the school district, whether it be to Big Brothers Big Sisters, any organization that we're all about service. And in every committee we serve on, it's about service to our community, especially our children. So.
And it definitely sounds like this is an event for all ages, like you said.
Yes.
So, sponsored by the Early Learning Coalition, with your focus is birth to 5, but this is good for anybody. You bring your big brother, your big sister, and they can have just as much fun. Grandparents, yes, I can see that would be an intriguing event for grandparents as well. Plus, am I correct that we've got mentoring opportunities for older adults, neighbors, aunts, uncles that don't have children, and this would be a great opportunity for those individuals to come and find out ways in which they can be mentors and volunteers and be part of the solution to some of these literacy challenges that we are experiencing in the community.
Yes.
Big Brothers Big Sisters is very fortunate to have a lot of retired educators that really don't want to lose that contact with children once they've retired from the classroom. So they do apply and become mentors with us, and the skills they have to offer are so great, and then they bring that grandparent love with them into the classroom. So Big Brothers Big Sisters will definitely be at the fair on the 7th with a booth, and hoping to be able to talk to people about an opportunity for them to be involved.
So again, April 7th, Longwood Stadium, 11 to 2. Now, this is the 12th year.
Correct.
Certainly, over the past years, you've seen some outstanding displays and some themed booths. Which ones maybe stand out in your mind? Give us a little glimpse so people know what they're going to walk into and what they can expect.
Well, so last year we had a provider that I wish I could remember the book. It might have been Old MacDonald, but they had a complete farm set up, and they brought like pigs and goats and bales of hay, and it was amazing. So they took up, I think, 2 or 3 booth spaces because they had brought so much. So it was just exciting to see that people within our community are so excited to come out and bring that and share those experiences with families that, like I said, may not have ever experienced that. And we, with all the work that we do, we hear different statistics, and it's amazing to know that we live so close to the Atlantic Ocean, but there's some families that live in impoverished areas in our community of Fort Pierce that have never been outside the 2-mile radius and have never been to the beach.
That's
true.
It's true.
So we're trying to bring those experiences to families that may not have an opportunity to do that. And it is a free event, so absolutely no charge. And we do have door prizes with no charge for tickets, so there's, people can walk away with gifts, and
you just make this more and more enticing.
Snack along the way, food, yes.
Yep. They do have to pay for the food, though, so I don't want
but it's available.
There is food available.
Right.
But are there still opportunities for vendors who may be watching to participate? And if so, how do they contact you for this?
Most definitely. So if they reach out to us at 772-595-6424, and if they ask for Jennifer, she's the only one we have. So, she is the one that organizes this event for us, and so Jennifer can talk to them and send them information about signing up for a booth or sponsoring. We do, like I said, for nonprofits, they're free space. For our child care providers, they receive free space. But any private businesses, we would love to have them out as well. But booth space and sponsorship starts at $100.
Okay. All right. $100 well spent, because we're going to have many, many people coming through the gates that day to see what's going on.
Well, and the one thing I'd like to say about that, with the money that we raise for this event actually goes towards our local match requirement. With our school readiness program, the subsidized program, we are required to raise 6% of a particular spending category.
Okay.
So that $100 actually draws down $1,600 of federal dollars to our program to help serve children. So every dollar is a $16 return, and you can't get any kind of return like that on your money in a savings account. I'm a former banker, so I know.
Okay, so a very, very positive investment.
That's
and an
definitely.
investment in our community, more
Definitely.
specifically in our children.
Yes.
Okay, I don't think we can sell that one any better.
I don't either. I don't either. Can't beat that return on investment at all.
Well, we just have a few more minutes, but you both, like I said, you both are so involved in the community. I know that both of your organizations are so powerful in supporting our children. Family Fun Fair coming up. Are there upcoming events, projects that you'd like to take just a moment to speak to and promote while we're here together?
Well, actually, the very same weekend is also our Walk for Autism Awareness, and two of our schools, Westgate K-8 and Palm Point K-8, are involved in that. It's been an annual event as well. Very supportive of children, especially children with autism. And again, it draws a large crowd too, so just about every weekend there's something, and gratefully they all involve and support children, and that's why we do what we do.
And you know, we can tie that right back into our VPK programs and early awareness, and making sure that we are meeting the needs of our youngest children as soon as possible, to make sure that we are providing the services that they need at the very, very onset of awareness and education. And we try so hard to work together as a team, and I just appreciate the fact that both of you are so very involved in this effort. Anything else coming up for you?
Well, we have, actually it's ongoing for the whole year. The health department has a step challenge, a 1,000,000 step challenge.
Billion.
A billion.
Yes.
Sorry, wow.
Let's put some more zeros
all
in
right,
there.
so I forgot a zero. That's actually big. So a couple of zeros actually. So so a 1,000,000 step challenge, and they can reach out to the health department to sign up for that. But if you're walking on a treadmill or running outside or whatever you're doing, or wearing a Fitbit or some way to track your steps, they want you to be involved, and look at possibly getting your friends involved, and it's really just about that healthier lifestyle here in St. Lucie.
And we have just been involved in a big campaign promotion in St. Lucie to make our own employees aware, and I'm signed up, and I'm counting my steps, and I have a 10,000 step goal per day, so I'm right there with you on that one.
That's the Fitbit, right?
You should do the show on a treadmill so that we can, because we're sitting here, we're not stepping right
Well,
now.
we'll have to get up and step. We'll have to step up our game.
All right. One other event I'd like to plug, Carrie, is Big Brothers Big Sisters annually has what we call the Taste of St. Lucie, where we have vendors, restaurant vendors and food provider vendors that come, and the community partakes of little tidbits of food from all of the different vendors that participate, and 100% of the proceeds from that go back to serve the children of our community too. And that will be April 25th, a Wednesday, and it's held right downtown, right on the riverfront. So it's a beautiful venue and great
that
event.
every year, and I will look forward to it.
Good.
I thank you both for being here. It's been my pleasure, and we will look forward to attending all of the upcoming events that you've mentioned, and then more to come. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm Carrie Patrick, and this is WLX-TV. On behalf of the station's team, I'd like to thank you for joining us today. That's all for this show, but we invite you to follow us, like us, and watch us on our social media outlets. And as always, you keep your eye on St. Lucie.